What's good, YouTube? It's Justice I used to be paying. Today I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about J. Cole's response to Kendrick Lamar and basically the reception surrounding it. I'm also going to talk about this new development that literally just happened tonight in J. Cole basically tucking his tail and man, I guess we'll talk about that a little later on, but I'm also going to talk about why Drake needs to save us at this point. We need Drake to come in and save us, but before I get into that, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. J. Cole just released a surprise album titled Might Delete Later, and it was pretty much completely out of nowhere. No one saw it coming. It just popped up on the streaming services on that Thursday into Friday night. And yeah, everyone was super excited, and there was a whole bunch of responses to Kendrick Lamar riddled throughout this project. Obviously not every single song, but there were some lines that you could attribute to Kendrick. Obviously, we just saw Kendrick go at Cole and Drake on his verse on Like That, which was also a surprise drop, so that's kind of a running theme here. But yeah, J. Cole responded to Kendrick Lamar throughout the album, but mostly, and what mostly everyone focused on, was his response on the final song of the album, 7 Minute Drill. And in this video, I'm going to more so focus on that than the rest of the album. I might talk about the album later, but I'm really going to focus on 7 Minute Drill and how I felt about the song and the reception to it. Now, me personally, just to give you a quick summary, I thought it was okay. It wasn't as bad as people are making it out to be. It's not something super great and it's going to go down in the history books, but I think it served the purpose that it was supposed to. Now, with all that being said, it's been completely thrown out of the window now with what J. Cole just went on stage and did at the Dreamville Festival show or whatever. He just completely tucked his tail in front of the whole world. And I mean that with no disrespect. I love Cole. I really do. But I got to call a spade no matter how much I like an artist. That was a crazy look, but I'll get into that in the second portion of the video. So this video is going to be comprised of two portions. The first one is going to be me kind of breaking down the disses in the song 7 Minute Drill and certain things about the song, analyzing the song as a whole. And then the other part of this video is basically going to be talking about how, however you want to describe what what Cole just did on that stage tonight, and basically why Drake needs to save us. So it's going to be two parts. The one where I break down the song 7 Minute Drill, and the other part where I talk about whatever the hell you want to call what Cole just did. This song, in my opinion, appeared to be J. Cole officially accepting this rap beef that Kendrick put on the table. You know, some people saw this song as like a warning shot. J. Cole himself even said that this was a warning shot in the song, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of weird to send a warning shot after somebody already sent a shot at you. So I kind of see this more as more of like J. Cole shaking Kendrick Lamar's hand and saying, all right, let's do this. You want to beef over who the better rapper is? Let's do this. I'm ready to diss back and forth. Let's get into it. Now, clearly that wasn't the case because we saw what he just did tonight. But like, even on the song, you could tell that Cole was reluctant. He didn't really want to do this beef thing, but like, he kind of had to. It was like, you know, Kendrick called him out, so let's do it. I don't want to, but let's do it. He even said it in the song that he didn't really want to do this, but he was down to do it if Kendrick was down to do it. And again, we saw that he really didn't want to do it after tonight. But either way, I'm still going to break down some of the bigger moments in terms of like lyrics in this song. J. Cole did a lot of different things on this song. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, but I think a lot of people are downplaying a lot of the stuff that Cole actually said. Like, people are just kind of ignoring it and just acting like all he said was, oh, Kendrick Lamar's discography isn't that good. Like, that's not the only thing he said. It's probably the most famous thing that people are taking from the song, but that's not the only thing that he said on the song. Okay, that's just a lie. It's not true. But just to get into it, the first thing that J. Cole really starts off the song with is saying that he heard somebody's dissing and it comes with extensions, pretty much saying that he heard the diss and he's acknowledging it in the opening lines of the song. But the first real, like, and then he tells his friend, like he says, my dog's on go ready for me to say the word. And he basically tells his friend to chill out. Like, nah, I got to handle this. If I'm beefing with somebody, I'm going to be the one doing it. I don't know if that's a bar about Drake. I don't know. It could be about somebody else. I don't know. But he basically saying that he told his friend to stand down. He's got to be the one to step up. But the first like real major diss that Cole serves to Kendrick is when he says, I come up from the Ville, so I'm good. Where is tension? He's still doing shows, but he fell off like The Simpsons. Now, everyone has been clowning this bar, saying it's a horrible bar. It's trash. It's not good. But I'm going to be honest. I think that this bar in a vacuum isn't that bad. what he say? He's still doing shows, but he fell off like The Simpsons. Like in a vacuum, that's not bad, right? Because The Simpsons is a classic show, and most people would agree that the quality isn't that good, and it's fallen off, but they're still putting out shows. So overall, I don't think it's that bad. And imagine if J. Cole was beefing with somebody like Meek Mill, and he said this bar. Oh, he's still doing shows, but he fell off like The Simpsons. Or he was dissing somebody else that had been in a position much higher earlier in their career, and now they're at a lower point. This would be fired. People would be actually quoting this bar on Twitter and acting like it was the craziest bar of the year. They would be. But the thing is, this bar didn't come out in a vacuum. This bar came with the context of him talking about Kendrick Lamar. And while Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers isn't Kendrick's best work, it's probably his worst work in my opinion, or one of his lower tier albums, it's still a good project. It's still a very good project and one of the best ones that came out in that year that it was released. So to say that Kendrick Lamar fell off is kind of crazy. And the thing with disses is like, when you're dissing someone in a song, like, yes, it has to sound good. It has to make, some sort of sense to people, and it has to be an insult, of course. But like, if what you're saying isn't true, or it isn't at least perceived as true or possibly true by most people, it just doesn't work. It doesn't feel right. Like if somebody's calling someone ugly and they're not ugly, everyone's gonna be like, that person's not ugly. So your diss doesn't matter. And that's why this Simpsons bar fell so flat on its face. The next thing that J. Cole said about Kendrick Lamar that really caught people's eye, and is probably, unfortunately for Cole, the biggest diss to come from this song because most people are roasting it, is the one where he talks about Kendrick's discography. He says, your first ish was classic, your last ish was tragic, your second ish put people to sleep, but they gassed it, your third ish was massive, and that was your prime. I was trailing right behind, and I just now hit mine. These couple of lines just really did not work. I'm sorry, it didn't work. When it comes to beefing with Kendrick Lamar, look, I'm not even like a top tier Kendrick fan. I like Kendrick's music, but I'm not like one of his biggest fanboys. When it comes to dissing Kendrick Lamar, you're never going to win going at his discography. Like, it's just not going to work. I'm sorry. It's not going to work. That is like one of the only things that you can't hit Kendrick for. You can say he's not that good. You can say you're better. You can say your bars are better. All those things might not be true. But if you're going to look at his discography of all things, you're just completely lost, because like it or not, Kendrick's focus is quality when it comes to his albums. It is. All right, it is. Now, I'm not saying everyone isn't trying to make quality, but everyone's not willing to take however long it takes to make a quality album. Some people are like, hey, bro, this is taking too long. Let's just put it out. And for J. Cole to enter this beef and say your albums aren't that good is crazy as hell. Especially when the album that he's talking about, the second album that put people to sleep and they gassed it, is To Pimp a Butterfly. I'm assuming. I don't think he's talking about Good Kid, Mad City, because that really wouldn't make sense. I'm pretty sure it's To Pimp a Butterfly. So to say that To Pimp a Butterfly was gassed and it put people to sleep is crazy as hell, when that's one of the best rap albums ever, probably. And most people can respect that regardless. You don't have to lie when you're dissing someone. You don't have to lie. Especially a guy like J. Cole, who's supposed to be conscious. Like, how could you not appreciate To Pimp a Butterfly? I don't believe that. I don't even believe he believes that. Nobody believes he believes that. That's why this bar didn't work. And then even to add it on to that, J. Cole has been getting the put people to sleep allegations his entire career. That sounded weird. I don't know why I said it like that. He's been getting those allegations his whole life. They've been calling him Audio NyQuil. Now, I disagree with him. I like J. Cole's music. I've always hated that people said that about him. But you got to realize like what people say about you, because people are going to flip that on you. Like if somebody was making fun of me because, I don't know, let's just say I had horrible breath, right? Let's just say people for years have been saying I had horrible breath. And then I get into an argument with somebody, I'm roasting them. I'm like, that's why your breath stink. Everybody in the circle is going to look and turn to me like, huh? You saying somebody's breath stinks? You of all people? Like, you get what I'm saying? You can't use that against somebody when, like, again, J. Cole, I don't think your music is NyQuil. I don't. I like your music. But, bro, that's just the truth of the situation. And that's, again, why people have been clowning this bar, these lines. Because Kendrick's discography is damn near untouchable. In terms of consistent quality of the big three, he has easily the most consistent discography when it comes to quality. And it's not close. Easily the most consistent. Throughout the line, you know you're going to get something good. So why even try to go at his discography? It doesn't make a lot of sense, especially because a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, you think his last album was tragic. It was better than your whole discography. Now, I would disagree, but like a lot of people are going to hold that opinion. It just didn't work, and it was a bad angle to take when going at Kendrick. Now, look, I know it's sounding bad for J. Cole, but I promise it picks up. It gets better. All right. So later on in the song, he talks about the fact that he's here off of bars and he's not here off of controversy, which doesn't really work again. Because like, yes, Kendrick got some controversy going over the last couple weeks, but like, it's Kendrick Lamar. Let's be real. But I think he starts to pick it up with some better disses in this song at this point. One in particular where he says, he averaging one hard verse every 30 months or something. If he wasn't dissing, we wouldn't be discussing him. Now, the first part is hard because it's true in my opinion. I think it's a pretty hard bar because it's true. Kendrick does not rap that often. One bar every 30 months, one hard verse every 30 months. That's probably giving him more credit than he actually puts out, right? So I think this was cool. I like that line. If you're going to get at Kendrick for something, it's going to be his inactivity. It's not going to be the quality of his out. That was a really bad move, but like it's going to be his inactivity. So that makes sense. Now, the next part, we wouldn't be discussing him if he wasn't dissing. That's not true. But look, I can allow that one. I can accept that one because he popped out of nowhere dissing you. Right? So you can say, this is a clout chase. This is a attention grabbing move. I can respect that. Even though I would say it's not true because obviously we're going to be discussing Kendrick Lamar regardless. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time. But like, this was a good thing to say. I feel like this worked. Even if it is a little bit of cap, this works. It makes you feel like, you're the one that he's trying to get attention from. I like that. But I think this next part was probably the hardest bar on the song, and I think it's really underlooked. Like, I don't really see that many people talking about this. I thought this was really hard. Maybe I'm tripping, but he said, Lord, don't make me have to smoke this dude because I F with him, but push come to shove on this mic, I will humble him. I'm Nino with this thing, this that New Jack City meme. Yeah, I'm aiming at G-Money, crying tears before I busted him. I thought that was hard. Now, obviously, in the bar, he's talking about the fact that he doesn't want to do it. He don't want to go there with Kendrick, but he will. And obviously, he calls back to the song Humble with Kendrick, obviously one of Kendrick's biggest songs. And also the New Jack City meme thing. That all works. I thought that was fire. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed that. I thought that was a really clever bar. I think he had, a nice play on words, a nice play on the fact that, he used Kendrick's old song. And I think people are just overlooking this bar. But I think people are overlooking this bar because they're too focused on your first was classic, your last. They're too focused on that. But this right here, this was good. This was really good, in my opinion. Another good sequence of lines later on down in the song are, Cole World, your instructor for Pilates class, get a dude stretched if I feel the disrespect. Your arms are just too short to box with the god. Now, I left out the part before that, but I thought that was a cool sequence of lines because, again, like the play on words with the Pilates thing. And also it's kind of a reference to CM Punk. I don't know if that was intentional or not. And I love wrestling. I thought that was cool too. Also, he said, your arms are too short to box with God. And literally Kendrick Lamar is like 5'6" and J. Cole is like 6'4". So again, I thought that was pretty solid. It wasn't anything crazy, but I thought that was kind of good as well. But probably his second best sequence of lines in this song was, I'm hesitant, I love my brother, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm powered up for real. That ish would feel like swatting a fly. Saying you can crush one of the best rappers of all time like you would crush a fly is hard. I thought that was cool because it's the same level of bravado that Kendrick was showing on the verse on Like That when he said it's, F the big three, it's just big me. It's the same level of bravado and telling Kendrick that, look, you don't really want to do this, I don't really want to do this, but if you're gonna do it, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to punish you. I like that. That was cool. But again, it got overshadowed because this stuff came later on in the song and everybody had already heard the bars about Kendrick's discography where Cole pretty much lied. Some more decent stuff in the song. 4 albums in 10 years. I can divide. If this is what you want, I'm indulging in violence. Like, not bad stuff. Not bad stuff. It's a callback to Jay-Z, who's pretty much like J. Cole's big homie. Like, this is cool. But when your stuff that's actually pretty decent, because again, he's going at Kendrick for the fact that he doesn't have a whole bunch of music out. He doesn't really stay that active. And he's also saying, I'm indulging in whatever you indulge in. Like, that's cool stuff. But when it comes after the stuff that wasn't that good and also ends up being the most famous parts of the song, it just causes the entire diss to kind of fall flat. I mean, the diss as a whole, like the entire song, it just causes it to kind of fall flat, not have that impact that you really would want it to. And yeah, it just makes everything kind of murky. It doesn't allow the diss song to have that same like unanimity that the Kendrick verse on Like That had. Like everyone can agree, even if you're, unless you're like the biggest Drake meat writer in the world, everyone can agree that verse was fire and that he went at those two dudes and it was really cool. But with Cole's song, more people are saying it wasn't really that good. Some people are saying it was okay. Some people are saying it's really good. But for the most part, everyone is either in the middle saying or they're on the other side saying this wasn't good. In terms of bars, though, this really isn't that bad when you compare it to Kendrick's, if you look at directly what Kendrick was saying about Cole, because most of the stuff that Kendrick was saying in the verse was more so about Drake than it was about Cole. There was some stuff in there, but it wasn't anything too crazy about Cole specifically. He said that he clicked up with Drake and that there's no big three, it's just big me. Like, that's not anything too crazy when it comes to talking about J. Cole specifically. But I think there are some very real differences between these two diss songs and how they were accepted. Obviously, being the fact that what Kendrick said on his song is pretty much mostly true, or most people would believe it to be true when it comes to anything about Drake that he said, and some of the stuff about Cole, but mostly what he said about Drake. And for Cole, that just really isn't the case with a lot of stuff he said early on in his song about Kendrick. And also, Like That is just a much better song. In general, Like That is a way better song. The beat for Like That is way better than the beat for 7 Minute Drill. The beat for Like That is probably one of the best of the year. 7 Minute Drill kind of has a bland, kind of boring beat, but I think that was on purpose in order to kind of highlight the bars and what J. Cole was actually talking about rather than the beat. But still, the beat is a major part of how people actually enjoy music. So one, having a better beat is going to play as a factor in this, like, deciding which one was better, entire thing. Also, a major difference between these two that I think is being kind of overlooked is the delivery and what Kendrick said. Because a lot of people were like, oh, J. Cole had like these elementary bars on here. He wasn't even saying anything. These one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish bars on the song. But honestly, if you look at the most popular bar from Kendrick's verse on Like That, as much as, you want to deny it or whatever, as much as you don't want to accept it, the biggest bar on that song, the most memorable one that people are still saying is, Mother F the big three, it's just big me. That's as elementary as it gets. That's as basic as it gets. But the difference is the way Kendrick said it. The delivery and what he was saying sounds way better than any delivery that J. Cole has on this new song. I think that's also a major difference that people aren't talking about, because Mother F the big three, it's just big me. If J. Cole said it in the way he was rapping on, 7 Minute Drill, people would have been like, this is so stupid. But the way Kendrick said it made it hard, even though it's very elementary. Even the bum, I'm not going to say the word because, I like to be monetized, but you know what I'm talking about when he bum. What is he talking about? Like, that's not even anything crazy, but it's hard because the way he said it. So I think that's also a major aspect that has been overlooked when we're talking about these songs, because Kendrick's delivery on that verse was amazing. But with all that being said, J. Cole pretty much just threw everything out of the window that he tried to do with 7 Minute Drill recently today, as of the recording of this video, at his Dreamville Festival. If you didn't see, J. Cole at his latest Dreamville Festival thing, the show that he does, he went on stage and he talked about 7 Minute Drill, and he basically ruined anything he tried to do with the song. He went up there and he shouted out Kendrick Lamar, but not only did he shout him out, he apologized to the man.
Moving incorrectly, and I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. You know what I mean? I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way, and if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot, I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you do. You know what I mean? Like, all good. Like, it's love. And I pray that, y'all are like, forgive a nigga for like the misstep, and then I can get back to my true path. Cause I ain't gonna lie to y'all, the past 2 days felt terrible. Like, it let me know how good I've been sleeping for the past 10 years. So all of that to say, man, I wanna now perform the song that's a reminder to me of getting back on the right path and getting in tune with God in the name of...
He apologized for making the song and whatever and said it was corny and he hasn't been sleeping well and all that. But I just want to preface what I'm going to say in the rest of this video by saying this, right? I love J. Cole. He's one of my favorite rappers ever. He was my first ever favorite rapper. I love J. Cole, love his music, have nothing but love for the man. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against him, nothing personal. And if he were to ever see this video, I hope he wouldn't take it personal. And I hope there wouldn't be any animosity. I just gotta keep it real, bro. This is the single most softest move I've ever seen in a rap beef. Ever in life. This isn't even like a real rap beef. This is rap competition more than it's like rap beef. This isn't like something where people are going to get hurt. At least hit between him and Kendrick. Maybe Drake might try to take it there, but between him and Kendrick, this was going to be rap competition more than beef. And this is the softest move I've ever seen. No disrespect. This is like someone coming up and punching you, and you're like, oh my God, like, dang, that hurt. Like, my jaw is on fire right now. I'm about to punch this dude back. What the hell? He think I'm sweet? I'm about to punch him back, bro. And you hit him, and you look at dude, and you realize the punch had no effect on him. He ate it like it was a bag of Skittles. And you like, oh, damn, okay. So I just punched him, and nothing happened. And then you go, you know what, bro? I don't even want to fight no more. But let me take it a step further. I want peace so bad, you can hit me as hard as you want, and I'm not going to do anything. Hit me as hard as you want, bro. Hit me as hard as you want. What are we doing? Cole's acting like he's the one that started this. Kendrick started this. He's acting like he's the one that antagonized Kendrick to come out and say something about it. No. Kendrick started it. You like, you know what? You hit me. I responded to hit you. Now you get 3 free shots and then we're done. That doesn't make any sense. You know, it would be one thing if, you know, Cole was like Drake. Drake has been saying little slick stuff about Kendrick for a long time. Okay, they've been having little slick stuff back and forth for a long time. Cole hasn't really done that. He's been showing Kendrick pretty much nothing but love their entire careers. So it's not like you've been saying stuff about him. He's even said stuff about you on Control. He said he was ready to kill you on Control. Not literally, but you get what I'm saying. Like, he started this. He started it. Why are you acting like you're the bully? If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. But why are you acting like you're the one who has to apologize? And I knew that Cole really didn't want to do this. I mean, obviously you could tell in the song he didn't want to do it. He said it multiple times. But before he even responded, in my first video I made about this subject, I was like, Cole's really not that type of guy. Like, I really feel like he doesn't want to do this. He might, but he's not that type of guy. And that's cool with me, bro. But the problem is you already responded. It's too late to fall back now. It's too late to fall back now. You're in it. You're in it. J. Cole gotta be the first rapper to ever lose a rap beef by forfeit before the other guy even responded. This is ridiculous because, you know, when you look at Drake lost that beef to Pusha T by forfeit, right? But at least Drake got hit upside the head first. At least he got hit upside the head with the story of Adidon, one of the craziest, most exposing diss tracks probably the most exposing diss track in the history of rap. Oh my God, Drake's got a kid. He hit him upside the head with the cover art, the crazy blackface. He hit Drake upside the head. He hit him with a baseball bat. At least I could kind of understand the forfeit in that situation. The being like, you know what? I don't want to take it there, even though I think that's cap. But like still, at least Drake got hit before he forfeited. Cole forfeited at the thought of getting hit. This is insane. This is insane. And look, I'm not mad at Cole for being like, oh, you know, want to be on his peace and love stuff. I'm cool with that. But you should have been like that the whole time. You can't respond and then jump back. Like, no, bro. 2 days ago, you were indulging in violence. Now you're indulging in peace and silence. What is going on? And this probably isn't the case, but it makes Cole look like he's scared of Kendrick. It makes him look like he's terrified. Like Kendrick's the boogeyman or somebody. Like, I'm just so disappointed. Like y'all can hear it. I'm disappointed, bro. I am. I really, truly am, because it's like, what, like, does Kendrick have some crazy secret about you? He's got like some deep dark secret. What is it, bro? Because it can't just be like, what is it, bro? What is it truly? Like, I'm confused. And I know some people are gonna be like, oh, bro, you're mad at a grown man for wanting to not beef, bro. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, I thought you wanted to, to push the peace and all that stuff. Bro, this isn't one of those type of beefs. This is rap competition. This isn't like full-fledged personal beef where, somebody might end up getting hurt. Maybe it would have gotten to that point down the line, but we haven't even started to get close to that. We haven't even come anywhere near. It really was just competition. Kendrick saying, you're not as good as me. The stuff with Drake, okay, I could see that possibly getting personal immediately. I could see that getting into a nasty beef because Drake will play that type of game. Or at least he's more likely to than Cole or even Kendrick. He can get nasty. But Cole and Kendrick, this was going to be rap competition. That I don't see either of them taking it that far to where it would have been personal and safety would have been on the line. This ain't Dirk and Youngboy where people are possibly losing their lives or already have lost their life. This is competition of the highest degree in rap. So what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you not competing? I just don't understand, bro. I really don't understand. And look, again, I get it. Cole's on his peace and love and, he's on that type of, that's cool, but you should have been on that since the beginning. I would have still been mad. I still would have been hot. I still would have been like, damn, Cole, I really wanted to see you go at him. But at least I could respect the consistency in your beliefs. But 2 days ago, you talked about indulging in violence and how you were ready to do it, how you were ready to swat him like a fly, how this would be easy, how you didn't want to do it, but you was crying before you busted him like the New Jack City meme. Now you're apologizing? It's just a bad look, bro. It's a bad look. I don't want to hear this man call himself the greatest ever again. I don't. I really don't want to hear it. Because when it was time to really get active, you got active for like 0.5 seconds and then you back down on your own. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm sorry. And look, man, when it comes to this big three, I've been fighting these allegations all my life. I've always avoided ranking the big three because I just don't like it. I love all three of the dudes and I never really wanted to do that, right? But my entire life, I've been fighting the allegations that J.Cole doesn't belong in the big three allegations. The J.Cole is easily the worst out of the big three. I've been fighting those my whole life. Okay, people have always said that, and I've always come to J. Cole's defense, even though, look, he might have been. But I'd always be like, you know what? You got to respect J. Cole, bro. You got to respect J. Cole. I don't care what y'all talking about. You got to respect the man. He's on their level. But now at this point, bro, you are three. You are three. You are three. Respectfully, of course. I love you, but you are three, bro. I'm sorry. You're three. I don't care who you put at one. You could put Drake, you can put Kendrick. I don't care. As long as Cole is three, I'm fine with that. Because this is crazy. This is beyond insane to me. Honestly, at this point, we might have to kick him out the big three. Because didn't J. Cole, this is so crazy. J. Cole was on Lil Yachty's podcast, right? He was on Lil Yachty's podcast talking about him and Drake on the song First Person Shooter and how everyone's saying his verse was better. And he was like, but me and Drake, we come from a generation of competition. Yachty, you might not understand it because you don't come from that competition, or that you don't come from that generation of competition. But me and Drake, we come from that competition. So I know he's looking to get me back on another song or something like that. What happened to that? What happened to that? You were just on the podcast maybe about 4-5 months ago telling Lil Yachty that you and Drake come from a generation of competition, and that's just how y'all are. Y'all gonna compete back and forth. And that Yachty wouldn't understand it. Yachty doesn't get it. He's too young, they're a different wave, and you're cool with that. They're more camaraderie based, and they like to work with each other, and they're not really on that competitive wave. That's cool, but that's not you. You're a different generation. You and Drake are a different generation. Y'all are competitors. So what's this? What is this? I thought y'all came from the competitive generation. I just don't understand, bro. At this point, he might have to get kicked out the big three. We might have to move Nicki up into the big three, bro. Because at least with Nicki, I know she's not that good at diss tracks. I think that's a hole in her game that's kind of been exposed. She's not really that good at it, but at least she's not gonna back down. She got some good bars for people. Don't get me wrong, Barbs. I know y'all are probably about to have a heart attack. She got some good bars for people, but that's not really her game. But she's not going to back down. So I can respect that. Maybe we got to put Future in the big... I don't know. Maybe we got to put Future in the big three. Drake, I need you to come through and I need you to save us, bro. I do. I need you to save us. I need you to respond to Kendrick Lamar. Please. Please. Because if Kendrick comes through with one verse, and just has y'all completely shook, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know. All right. Because since this whole discourse has happened, I've been telling people, just hold on a minute. Wait now. Drake and Cole are going to respond. They can rap with Kendrick. Like, a lot of y'all putting Kendrick on this pedestal. Like, he's an all-time great, don't get me wrong, but so are Cole and Drake. Like, this is going to be competitive. I'm telling y'all. I've been saying this. But if both of y'all go out sad, I don't know what I'm going to do. Drake, I need you to respond to Kendrick. I need you to come out, say something. I need you to show me that Kendrick Lamar is not the boogeyman. Because at this point, he might just be. He might just be the boogeyman. Because one of y'all just forfeited on their own. They didn't even get a response and they already forfeited. And the other just hasn't said anything. So at this point, he is the boogeyman. Right now, today, 1:15 a.m., Monday, April 8th, Kendrick Lamar is the boogeyman. Because right now, it's looking terrible for y'all boys. So what we gonna do is, we gonna just move J. Cole to the side. And after all this is done, we're gonna host a vote between Future and Nicki on who can fill that spot into the big three. We're gonna host a public opinion poll on who fills that final big three spot. And I'm gonna need Drake to rap at Kendrick. I'm going to need him to go at Kendrick, and I'm going to need to see some real rap beef competition. I'm going to need to see some real rap competition because I thought y'all came from that era. I thought that's the era y'all came from. I thought y'all was really putting y'all pens to the test. I thought that was what was going on. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought that's what I was told by J. Cole on that Lil Yachty podcast, that y'all compete. So, move J. Cole. Again, we going to host that vote between Future and Nicki after, but right now I need Drake to respond. I need him to respond. Because y'all cannot let Kendrick Lamar come through like the boogeyman. Because he looking like he got y'all terrified, shook. So Drake, get your pen out. Hurry up and respond. Go tell J. Cole to go fold some clothes over there. And look, I hate to be this mean to one of my favorite rappers ever. Like this just feels bad. But it's just the truth of the situation. Like, J. Cole, I love you, bro. I really don't mean anything personal by this. I'm just very disappointed in your actions today. I'm not going to get on here and jump out the window and call you a P word and talk all out of character about you. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to insult your character. But in terms of like a rap move, this is one of the worst I've ever seen. One of the worst. I'm really disappointed by it. I'm not going to get on here and talk crazy about you personally. But in terms of what you just did, bro, it was weak. I'm not going to lie. It was a weak move, in my opinion. You should have been on this timing the whole time. But you're still one of my favorites. Still somebody whose music I love to this day. This was just a bad move, and it's going to age horribly in the history books, in my opinion. I think this is going to be one of those moments in hip-hop that's like really a moment that people look back on and go, oh, that was kind of rough. But that's just my opinion. Maybe you disagree. If you made it this far down the line in the video, you're amazing. I appreciate you so much. Have a good day. Make sure you leave a subscribe, like, comment, subscribe, do all those things. Have a good day. Be safe. Be blessed. It's like 1 a.m. I'm tired. Get out of here. Peace.